What's poppin', lads? Today we are back with another video. Finally. I haven't uploaded a video in a month and uploaded my update video, just basically clarifying everything, but it's been a really long time since a video like this, and I'm finally back and I'm gonna be grinding. But today we are gonna be talking about, is Weathering With You really that good of a film? Now, I watched it in sub and in dub, and honestly I really like this film. Like, this is a really good film, and I'm just gonna talk about some stuff that I liked and talk about some stuff that they could improve on. But before we get into that, make sure to check out my anime list in the description, follow it, friend me on it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notification button, and make sure, if you want to buy the merch down in the description. I will try and make the merch better, but right now it's bad. But make sure to do all of that, guys. Most of all, subscribe to the channel, make sure to share it with people, make sure to like, do whatever you want. So let's just quickly talk about Weathering With You. Now, Weathering With You is basically about a guy called Hodaka who runs away from his island home to Tokyo, and he wants to escape from this. So he goes to Tokyo to escape from this remote little island town because he feels secluded and he's really like pushed in, so he wants to escape and break free. And basically he quickly becomes really, so he had a lot of money and he quickly becomes really broke, and he really becomes like threatened by the city. Like, he's not used to this, and the city just constantly throws so many bad things on him. And the weather in Tokyo is really unusual weather for summertime. It's rainy, it's gloomy, everything is bad, and it kind of suggests his future. So, he's gonna have a bad future. But then he lives in isolation, but on the way to Tokyo, he meets a man called Suga, who offers him a job, and he takes that job, and his life is suddenly coming better. And he meets a girl called Hina, which he had previously met before, but he met her again, and he finds out that this girl Hina can actually control the weather, and it basically progresses and shows what they do with that power and what goes wrong and what's right. Now, if you've watched this movie, you know it's a really good movie. Like, I personally really like this movie, and I'm not a fan of romance, but it's a really good movie. And I think even if you're not an anime fan and you don't avidly watch anime, this is a really good film to watch. Like, I know everyone watches Studio Ghibli and all that shit, but Kimi no Na wa proved that it's not only Studio Ghibli that makes good anime films and can break out internationally. Kimi no Na wa showed that, and they were like, right, now we're gonna make also a really good film. And I think Weathering With You is much more realistic in the sense that when they do something bad in the film, they get some like consequence for it, whereas in Kimi no Na wa, it just like, they do something wrong, but it's alright because they saved the whole town from a comet. But like in this case, the guy was trying to save his love and like trying to help out, and he did stuff which I'm not going to spoil, but yeah, but he basically helped out, and he gets consequences for it. Like, he goes to jail, and when he does bad stuff, he gets a consequence for it, which I really liked about this movie, and one of the many things that are better than in Kimi no Na wa. Now let's talk about the art in this film, because this animation is just really good. Like, in Kimi no Na wa, the animation was really good, so they had to step it up even more, and again, I think it's better than in Kimi no Na wa, but we're talking about this film, so I'm gonna say the animation in this film is really good. There was one scene where they were in McDonald's. Yeah, there was like really heavy brand and advertisement, and Hodaka gets this burger from the girl that he's gonna later like talk to and later progress with his relationship, and she gives him a burger, and the way the burger just lifts up, like it just puffs up, and it's just so nice. Like, I was sitting in the cinema and just eating stuff, and I was still hungry just looking at that burger because it looked so delicious. I'm not even joking. And the water was really good as well. Like, I know that sounds a bit stupid, but like the way the rain was animated was just so good. Like, looked like real life. Like, seriously, this is like the closest I've seen, but it just, I don't know, it just looked really nice, and like it was like cocaine to the eyes basically. Now let's move on to the story. The story was really good, but at bits I had to, like, the pacing was a bit off and I didn't really like it. Like, at the beginning part of the film, this was a problem with Kimi no Na wa. The first third of the film was good. The middle third was really bad, like really boring. It was just like dragged out, and then the last part, it was like also kind of dodgy. But in this one, it was really good. It was a bit slow in the beginning, which I didn't like, and it had some plot holes, but overall the story is a really strong aspect of this film. Yeah, so let's move on to the music and the sounds. Like, Makoto Shinkai is also always really good at music and really good at sound. And there was that one song in the film that was just so good. Like, I'm not gonna spoil the scene, but they're doing something, and this song is just playing in the background, and that scene, if you've watched the film, you know what scene I'm talking about. It's towards the end of the film, and they're doing something together, and they're just like, the music to it is just like, oh my god, this is so amazing, and you feel like it's really emotional. And I thought it was a really good part of the film. And I also liked how the film manipulated the usage of sound, because at one part when something like oh my god, this just happened, everything just goes silent except for the water droplets, or just everything goes silent in general. So you just have a silent movie theater just to reflect on what you just experienced, which I really liked. And as I mentioned earlier, I have watched it in sub and dub, and I would have to give it to the subbed version, because they were just, I'm not saying the dub was bad, the dub was actually really good for what like dubs are, but obviously I'm going to prefer sub, it just sounds more natural to me. But the sub was really good. It's just in the dub they had like some bits, like when he was in the end of the film, this isn't a spoiler, in the end of the film he's just like going on the metro, and there's like the what's it called, the people like on the metro, like oh, the doors are closing. Like in Tokyo they also do that, and like I've been to Japan, and it sounds much better in the sub than it does in the dub. It just sounds so Americanized, which I know is like, yeah, that's the whole point of the dub, but it just didn't sound right for some reason, which is one of the aspects I didn't like. But that's for the dub, that's not for the sub. The sub was really good, but in both voice acting was really good. Now guys, let's move on to the characters. Now the characters I really liked in this film. They were all top-notch characters. Like in Makoto Shinkai, I'm going to compare it to Your Name, but I don't want to keep doing that, but I'm just going to say, in Your Name, the characters were good, but they didn't expand on the side characters, whereas in this film, they expanded on the side characters, and they actually had some relevance to the plot, whereas in Your Name, like, oh, here's a side character, now let's just discard them completely. And I was like, oh, that's just a bit, like, bad, not gonna lie. But in this film, they made it really good. Like, for example, there's this one character called Suga, and he's just such a good character. I don't know, he was just like really good, and he just helped the plot. He had his own personal issues as well as the other two main characters, but he had his own personal issues, and it showed how like far he's willing to go just to protect like something that's dear to him, which if you've watched the film then you'll see it. And the characters all had a sense of realism, as I mentioned previously, which is like one of the defining traits to why this is better than Kimi no Na wa. Now, yeah, I think Kimi no Na wa was good, but it was honestly a 7 for me. But yeah, I would say Weathering with You is a much better film. If you had to watch both of them, I'd say watch Weathering with You, but this isn't a comparison video, this is saying what Weathering with You is. Now I would say Weathering with You is an absolutely great film, and I'd say even if you're not an anime fan, you should definitely watch it. It will, like, it's pretty emotional in some parts, and it's not like your traditional Western romance film. It's just like really nice, and it's not like, oh, let's have a kiss, let's have a hug. It's more like emotionally just like presenting their ideas and their love, and I would say it's a great movie. It has some little flaws, but like they can be looked over. But yeah, I would honestly give this film a 9. Like, this is a really strong film. It's in my like top 3 films. Top 3 films are, I think, Mononoke is 1, I know, Spirited Away 2, and this is probably 3, or that might be 2 as well. And considering I don't even like romance films that much, surprisingly, I know. But yeah guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much. Make sure to go and watch Weathering with You. I nearly said Your Name. Make sure to go and watch Weathering with You. This video is not sponsored, but I really recommend going to cinemas and seeing the films. I think it's stopped showing in cinemas, but just make sure to watch it online. Don't watch it on piracy websites. Actually purchase it. Help the industry, and like, it is a good movie, so it benefits the people. Thank you very much guys. Make sure to check out the merch, make sure to check out my anime list, like the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next anime review.